Everyone thinks the biggest lie about Napoleon was that he was short. But the truth? That was only the final lie. Before his enemies made him small in cartoons, Napoleon himself was a master of image making. He knew how to make victory look larger than it was, and defeat look like strategy. Wait, this did not start with British cartoons? So this was never just about height?
No. I was never afraid of being short. I was afraid of being seen as small.
Napoleon was born in Corsica in 1769, on an island the great powers looked down on. His mother was hard, disciplined, and protective. That home was built for survival, not comfort. In that house, love was not softness. It was early training for a hard world. Then he was sent to France to learn a language that was not truly his. This was not the emperor yet. This was a boy entering a world ready to mock him. He was mocked for his accent, his origin, his manners, and the fact that he did not belong. Every laugh became a debt he would one day collect. Then he found a language no one could laugh at: artillery. Artillery did not care about his accent. It cared about numbers, distance, angle, timing, force. That became his real grammar. If society asked where he came from, the cannon asked only one thing: can you hit the target? In that cold machinery, the outsider found a weapon that answered humiliation. So the cannon gave you the voice France refused to hear?
Humiliation became fuel.
The strange boy no longer wanted only to succeed. He wanted the world to look at him. Then France cracked open, and the old rules started to collapse. Royal blood was no longer enough. Titles no longer guaranteed survival. For a man without noble birth, this was not chaos. It was a crack in the wall. At Toulon, his name began to rise.
There, the coastal batteries.
In Paris, he proved he was not afraid to use force. Then came Italy, where Napoleon learned that victory was not finished until people heard the right story. In Italy, Napoleon did not just win battles. He manufactured the legend. His army was tired, hungry, and outnumbered in places, but he moved faster than his enemies could think. While France saw a rising general, Josephine saw something more dangerous, a man trying to turn love, victory, and ambition into the same thing. Speed became part of his myth. Every victory became a bulletin. Every advance became a story. He did not wait for history. He sent the first draft to Paris himself. You did not just win in Italy. You sold the victory.
The victory you do not narrate yourself will be rewritten by your enemy. And after Italy, one enemy stood above the others.
Egypt was not random. It was Britain's weak side. Britain was an island power with a terrifying navy.
If he could not strike London directly, he would strike its route to India.
He arrived not only with soldiers, but with scientists, engineers, printers, and maps. The campaign was a military strike and a propaganda stage at the same time. The message was clear: I am not only a conqueror, I am bringing civilization. Egypt gave him a perfect image. A European commander in front of the land Napoleon won. The Battle of the Pyramids gave him the scene he needed. He entered Cairo, and the image looked magnificent. But days later, the sea burned the legend. He looked like a conqueror on Cairo, but the sea had locked the door behind him. Cairo did not see civilization. It saw an army inside its city. When the city heard cannon behind the speeches, the mask began to fall. The people gathered in anger and fear. At that moment, image was no longer enough. So Cairo heard cannons, not civilization?
People do not believe your words when they hear your guns behind them.
He did not go to Syria because he was bored. He went because the trap was closing.
The Ottomans were moving. The British controlled the sea. Egypt could become a cage.
So he moved north before the ring closed. He still imagined a larger legend, a commander entering the east and returning unstoppable. But the road to legend was paved with blood. Jaffa is where the heroic painting begins to crack. After Jaffa surrendered, Napoleon ordered the killing of thousands of prisoners. This was not a battlefield accident. It was a calculated decision by a commander who believed he could not feed, guard, or release them. The massacre did not end when the shooting stopped. The city was left with bodies, overcrowding, fear, and collapsing sanitation, the perfect image of an army winning territory while losing control of the human cost. Then came the page admirers prefer to pass over quickly. Prisoners became a burden for an army that needed to move fast. Here, Napoleon is no longer the hero of paintings. Here we see the cold commander. Then came the plague, an enemy that did not understand rank. Was the painting courage or cover-up?
Do not trust paintings too much. Beautiful light can hide an ugly memory. We must endure. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Acre was not just a city. It was the wall that ended the Eastern dream. The city that was supposed to open the road closed the gate. Disease pressed harder. Time ran away. The legend that began at the pyramids broke against the walls. Napoleon did not leave simply because he was tired of Egypt. News reached him that France was in political and military crisis, and he understood that power in Paris might be available to whoever arrived first.
Kleber, these orders are absolute. You will execute them without delay. I understand, sir. See to it.
Before leaving, Napoleon handed command to General Jean-Baptiste Kleber. Kleber inherited an isolated army, damaged supply lines, disease. On the night of 22-23 August 1799, Napoleon left Egypt in secret aboard the frigate Muiron. He took trusted generals and leading scientists with him, while most of the Army of the Orient remained behind. He returned with the narrative. In Paris, people did not see every scream from Jaffa or every breath of plague. They saw the commander returning from the east. The story that survived saved its owner. The same wound that pushed him upward now pushed him beyond control. The boy they mocked for his accent placed the crown on his own head. At the coronation, Josephine was not just his wife. She became part of the image, and you remember. But empires do not ask what you love, they ask what you can produce, and when Josephine chose dynasty over the woman who knew him before the crown, Russia became a white catastrophe. Cold, hunger, disease, and an army returning like a ghost. Leipzig broke the aura. Waterloo shut the final military door.
They could not make his impact smaller, so they made his body smaller.
After Waterloo, Napoleon abdicated again, surrendered to the British, and was sent to Saint Helena so he could never return to Europe. He died there in 81. The man who escaped Egypt in secret, ending his life on and could not escape. In the end, after crowns, wars, and propaganda, the man who tried to become larger than history was left with memories no empire could protect.
I built my image to escape how small they made me feel.
And then they trapped you in a smaller image. Was Napoleon a victim of British propaganda, or was he the first man who taught his enemies how to lie with images? Write your answer in the comments.